Right, well, hello everyone, my name's Gary and I'm just going to provide a review on this power station that I've just purchased. It's the LMENGER K5 portable power station. So I bought this for £179.99 from Amazon, but there was a £30 discount code to be used, so obviously I use that. Now in regards to specs, it's a 577 watt hour capacity with a 550 watt continuous output, and it's good for 1,000+ charge cycles and comes with a 2-year warranty. Now this also has a super load feature, which I think is real good. It's like the EcoFlow X Boost system, so it lets you go above that 550 watt capacity output up to 1,000 watts apparently by scaling down the voltage, so you can still use those items. Now I've used a few of those higher output items and I'll let you know about them shortly. So we'll just quickly run through the connections. So we've got Type C, 2 USBs, your AC, well, only one, which is a bit of a letdown, AC socket, your 12-volt socket, and then you've got your charging input and your solar input, and then just a little light there. Now the unit does turn on and off by a switch, so there's no risk of knocking any buttons when in storage or transport, so you just press that. That will turn the unit on, which shows your remaining battery capacity and your input and output watts. And then you just hold it in again to turn it off. Now, in regards to charging, it takes, I think it took 6 hours and 2 minutes, and the unit displays that it's being charged at 90 watts. Now, at the first charge I carried out, I just charged it as normal using the display on the unit, which over 6 hours didn't equate to the right capacity that it's meant to be, 577. Obviously 6 hours at 90 watts only equates to 540 watts, and it should even be more than the 577 capacity, because they always take a little bit more to charge. So I decided to get a power meter and run a few tests with this power meter, and then so when charging it with a power meter, it was actually charging at around 100 to 101 watts over the same duration, which I think it ended up being, it charged something like 617 watts, which then obviously gave me a bit more confidence that it did have the correct capacity. So I've used a kettle, which is 600 watts with this, an oil-filled radiator, which is 650 watts, and then a little heater, which was a little electric heater, which was 500 watts, and it powered all them, no problem. When using the 600 watt kettle, the display was showing it was 500 watts. My power meter was reading, it was, yeah, virtually the same. It was a couple of watts lower, and it powered that no problem. So it was obviously, it was scaling the voltage down, and it was fine. I think that took about 5 minutes to boil, and it was fine. Even the 650 watt heater, it was fine. The heater seemed as hot as it would normally be. Again, not a problem. And the little mini 500 watt heater, it was scaling down to show about 400 watts, I think, about 390 watts on the power meter, and that was fine. It was as hot as it should be, and it was absolutely fine. Now, when I did a discharge test using one of the heaters, it actually, according to the power meter, only actually gave me, I think it was 397 watt hours out of a 577 watt hours, and that was via the AC, which actually comes back at around the 70% efficiency rating, which is quite poor, to be fair. I mean, a good power station should be giving you 85, I would say. I mean, I did have an Anker 555 that would produce 90, so yeah, I'm a bit disappointed with the 70. And one other issue I had with this, on well, every discharge cycle I did, I think it was about 3, was once it reached around 7 or 8% remaining, when it gets to 10%, it starts flashing to warn you, because you should ideally be charging it up by that time. Don't let it really run below that too often. But once I hit 7 or 8%, the unit would just drop to 1% instantly, and then it shuts everything down and won't let you do it. Won't let you power anything, but the unit won't go to 0. It goes to 1%, shuts all functions down, and then that's it. You just need to recharge it. So I was a bit disappointed by the output capacity it was giving me, because I thought it would be it's advertised as being around 85% efficient, and based on my test, it wasn't. I mean, I contacted the seller, and the seller told me to give it a few charge and discharge cycles to see if it basically calibrates the battery properly, and then it might sort itself out. If not, they said I could return it and they'd give me a refund, no problem, or send me a replacement unit. So I'm not sure what I'll do yet. I'll give it a couple of more tries, because if it does work properly, or you can get one of these units that doesn't have a fault, I think it's an absolute bargain for £150, especially for having the super load feature. I mean, in regards to the fan is pretty loud, and obviously it does come on when you're running those high powered items. I wouldn't say it's any louder than the likes of an EcoFlow, and some others that I've used, but it's like the rest of them. Depending on what you're using it for, you can find it a bit too loud, so it could annoy you at times, but again, it does depend what you're using it for. Now, in regards to the solar, I mean, the cables that were included with the unit, you only get the charger and you get the car charger, that's it. So I was trying to track a solar cable down, and I just couldn't work out what solar cable it needed, and then I found it. So the solar cable you need is a DC 8020, which fits that socket, which seems to be a bit different than quite a lot of the power stations out there. And that's it really. I'm just hoping that it pans out the more I test it, and it starts to work as it should work. But if you could get a working one with no fault, I would definitely recommend it, because like I said, the superload feature itself, yeah, that's not seen on many power stations that I'm aware of. In fact, EcoFlow is the only one that I've really experienced that does it. So buying a power station I actually think it's a little bit cheaper now. I think it's £140 you can get it for, or you can pay £10 extra, so you get a wireless phone charger built into the top, which didn't interest me, so I didn't opt for that version. But yeah, I'm just going to see how it goes, and that's all for now. So thanks for watching.